Today, we're going to talk about how artificial intelligence is quietly rewriting the rules of financial risk. And we'll break down exactly what that means for you, because the way you've been doing things, well, it might already be obsolete. So let's just start with a really critical question, something every leader should be asking themselves. What if the most dangerous risk to your company isn't in your reports? What if it's hiding in plain sight, but only an AI can see it? You see, for decades, financial analysis has always been about looking in the rearview mirror. We've relied on annual reports, on data that was, let's be honest, months out of date by the time we got it. That whole model, it's broken. And this really shows the shift, doesn't it? We're leaving behind that old, slow world of periodic reviews. We're now in an era of real-time vigilance. AI is constantly screening massive amounts of what you might call invisible data, and it's doing it from day zero, the very moment an investment is made. Now, this isn't just some theory. This is happening right now. Just listen to Nicolai Tangen, the CEO of Norway's massive sovereign wealth fund. He says sustainability and governance are now inseparable from financial performance. Think about that. They're not two different things anymore. They are one and the same. So let's take a closer look at the group that's really pioneering this change. We're talking about Norges Bank Investment Management, or NBIM. They've basically become the canary in the coal mine for this AI-driven revolution in finance. And to really get why they matter so much, you have to understand the sheer scale we're talking about. NBIM manages over $2 trillion. They own about 1.5% of every publicly listed company on the planet. So when they decide to change how they look at risk, believe me, the entire market has to sit up and pay attention.
And oh, have they changed! Since late 2024, they've been using Anthropic's AI, Claude, for that day zero screening we talked about. Within just 24 hours of buying a stock, the AI is already scanning local language news, court filings, all the stuff traditional data vendors completely miss. And what's the goal? It's simple. Find the ethical losers and get out before that risk ever becomes a headline.
You know, this gets to a fundamental principle in finance. Cash flow tells the truth. Profit tries to hide. Well, in the same way, AI is now telling the truth that traditional reports can conceal. It's drawing a direct line from non-financial data straight to financial materiality. Okay, and this is where it gets really practical for every single finance professional listening. This isn't just about technology, it's changing the actual rules and the language of accounting. We are talking about your balance sheet. And here's the crucial insight, an ethical red flag, something an AI finds in a faraway market. That's no longer just a PR problem, it is now a direct leading indicator for an asset impairment. Let's look at the accounting. Under International Accounting Standard 36, if an AI finds a credible link between your supply chain and, say, forced labor, the value and use of your assets could plummet because of looming sanctions or boycotts. That finding from an AI can now trigger a formal asset impairment test.
And it's the same story with IAS 37. An AI picking up on corruption risk could now force you to disclose a contingent liability, or maybe even book a provision, long before any official lawsuit is ever filed. The threshold for what you must disclose to the market has fundamentally been lowered. And that is so important, because this single disclosure can change investor perception forever. And it's not just about risks. Investors like NBIM are also using AI to fact-check the new sustainability disclosures under IFRS S1 and S2. They're checking your reports against reality on the ground. So, what's the financial payoff? Well, you can see it right here. By getting out early, the fund avoids that 10 to 15% stock price haircut that always follows a public scandal. That's directly protecting fair value. It also drives massive efficiency and helps them lower their risk premium in volatile markets. The message here couldn't be more clear. Ignoring these AI-detected signals is simply no longer an option. This is where value gets destroyed. This is where companies collapse silently, long before the bad news ever shows up in a quarterly report.
So, what are you supposed to do about all this? Let's walk through a straightforward survival guide for adapting your organization to this new reality. It really comes down to 3 core strategies. First, you have to use AI to stress test your own operations before your investors do it for you. Second, you've got to integrate AI into your internal controls so you can move from just random sampling to 100% data coverage. And third, you need a rock-solid governance framework to explain and defend the decisions your AI models are guiding you to make.
This right here is the new checklist for your finance and risk teams. You need to be asking these questions. Can you see what an investor like NBIM sees? Can you react just as quickly? And maybe most importantly, can you translate these risks into the language of the balance sheet and defend your actions in the boardroom? This is the new standard of professional care.
So let's bring it all home. The takeaway is this: your competitive advantage isn't about who has the most data anymore. It's about who has the most intelligent filter to act on that data first. Your most sophisticated investors are already stress testing your company with AI. The only question left is, are you?